Stream the meeting. Here we go. Live stream. Excellent. Good
Yay.
Morning, everybody. This is Claire Jones here from Your One Life Healthy Weight Solutions, and I'm live with you here in the Your One Life Healthy Weight Solutions group on Facebook with the lovely Ruth Bennett, who is from Empower Your Truth. And Empower Your Truth is something I'm going to ask Ruth to tell us a little bit about in a moment. So really, really warm welcome to you, Ruth. It's really great that you could join us this morning. And we're going to just have a little bit of a chat, aren't we, about how to get better at developing healthier habits. Because, of course, one of the things that we have to do if we want to lose weight, or if we want to stop smoking, or we want to do anything else that is to perhaps improve our health and well-being, that involves actually taking actions to change our behaviour, doesn't it? And the problem with that, of course, is that part of us doesn't really want to do that. So we have to kind of dig a bit deep and get some healthier habits going, and perhaps get into a kind of flow with those healthy habits to enable us to actually do the things that we need to do consistently. So I'm really, really pleased that you're going to join me here this morning to give us some of your life hack tips to help us to do that. So first of all, though, Ruth, tell us a little bit about you and Empower Your Truth, which I absolutely love as a name for your business. So over to you.
Thank you. So hi everybody, happy Monday. So I came up with the name when I was training with tarot, and we had to look at our whys. What did we want to do with our business? And what was really important to me was truth. So we live with a lot of stories in our lives. Like in my family, it's like Ruth is always going to be late. I was late once, and everybody was like, Ruth is always going to be late. So then I started living that, and we can slip into that. So that's an example of, you know, the stories that we live and how we're sort of almost conditioned in a way with some things, but who are we underneath? You know, we have these wonderful layers: mum, brother, sister, parent, and they're wonderful, but who are we underneath? And if we can find that, then quite often, then we can shift things forward and let go of some of those stories, which is really important to me, especially because my name's in the word truth.
I love that. Absolutely love that. That's brilliant. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing your business now?
Well, I qualified in 2019, and I got accredited as a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, plus I have my sort of spiritual, I'm an intuitive coach as well. And I read tarot. So I started in 2019, but unfortunately, towards the end of 2019, I got diagnosed with grade 3 breast cancer. And then we went into lockdown in 2020. And do you know what? Getting cancer was quite a powerful step for me. So that's where I found my truth. I literally had to peel back. I was stripped, literally, physically and mentally. So it's a huge growing curve, and I've let myself recover. So I've been doing it as a side hustle. I admit that. I've been working part-time, and it's a side hustle. And this year I'm actually making the nest. I'm getting things in place like my website and a podcast up and running, and I'm really going to go for it. So and this is my chemo curls that come back.
Yes. And of course, I think we first met online, didn't we, when you were still, I think, either going through your treatment or just recovering from your treatment.
For a lot of those sessions.
That's right. And it's absolutely wonderful to see your curls grown back in the way that they have. It's really, really beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. And I know, you know, you've been through a really, really challenging time, but I think what this does show is that you can recover, that you know, these things make us stronger, don't they?
They do.
So I think, you know, the wisdom that you're going to be able to share with us today, I think is coming from a really, really powerful place. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
One of the things that I know we're going to be chatting about is your thoughts about flow and something called meantime habits, which I think sounds really, really interesting, and I'd love to know about that, because obviously we run these monthly challenges here in the group, and obviously it's really great to see how people are sharing, how they're getting on, and obviously we look for, or, you know, one of the things I say is, you know, we're not looking for perfection, we're just looking for just showing up for yourself and keep going. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are around this, and you know, how we can perhaps improve on our consistency with developing these healthier habits. So
absolutely. And something that really hit me is even when I got diagnosed and we found the lump and everything, and up to my surgery, and even after my surgery, I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I was running 5K. I was quite a fit person for an old bird, is what the students used to tell me. And all of a sudden that was stripped away. So I had to find ways of bringing things back that weren't going to push my physical levels and affect me mentally. So I did a lot of research and I discovered these habits are called meantime habits. So what you do is you take something totally mundane, something that you do like watching the kettle boil, for example, or this is my favorite. When I was cleaning my teeth, I do 50 squats in the morning and again in the evening. So literally I am sliding into my life 100 squats a day. I am slotting in the squats every single day, and it's become part of my life. It's become meantime I'm brushing my teeth, but I'm also getting that energy into my legs into the morning, getting that blood flow going, and yeah, just keeping that work. So it's not work. It's not like I've shoved on some gym gear and gone outside or grabbed some weights or anything like that. I've done it meantime. So I've taken a meantime habit.
Yeah, now that sounds great. And there's so many different things that we could do, aren't there, in terms of sort of like pairing things with things that could. Tell me what's the main principle behind the meantime? What is it trying to achieve?
It's where, like we're talking about flow, like sometimes we think like everything is too much, and I'm a big fan of the expression, if you're facing in the right direction, you just need to start walking. And I tell my clients little steps are just as powerful. We sort of sometimes worry about the race and the obstacles in the race and not the end line. So this helps keep our flow going. If you talk to any athlete, they don't worry about the race, they just focus on that end goal. So for me, going through everything, I was thinking, I can't run anymore, can't do this anymore. And my focus was totally on an end goal that wasn't even there. I didn't even know what it was. And so by researching these little meantime habits, I kept my flow, I kept my energy up, I kept positive. I'm really proud. Like I do 100 squats every day without even bugging it. Another thing you can do to switch that up is balance on one leg, because as we get older we lose our balance, and I was a ballet dancer, so losing my balance was another loss for me. And also with chemo you lose your ear hair, so you lose balance when it's coming and going.
Of course, yes.
So people don't realize things like that. So even your body hair comes off and you lose your thermostat. So it's lots of little things to keep my pecker up, and I've carried these on and I'm really proud of that. And I also work with my clients and we work on these little steps. And another one that I absolutely love, anybody hates hoovering or housework or dusting or that, put some music on and literally rock it out. So I'm pole dancing with my hoover, I'm using a microphone with my duster, and I try and challenge myself to get the hoovering done by the end of the song.
Fantastic.
So just little challenges there, and it's lifted. You're exercising, you're raising your positivity, your endorphins are higher, and
no, that sounds really fantastic. Are there any tools that you would recommend that people can use to kind of enhance their consistency with what they're trying to do?
Alexa.
Oh yes. Now you were telling me about this earlier, weren't you? And I'm really intrigued because I've not got an Alexa. I'm probably the only person in the world who hasn't, because it's never really appealed to me. But something you said to me earlier made me think, hey, maybe I should have a go. So tell me about what you do with Alexa.
You can use Alexa or you can use your phone. So I have Alexa pops up with positive affirmations all the way through the day. So one of the ones is that the way I act and the way I feel isn't relying on other people's opinions of me, or I am good enough, or you can find your favorite affirmations and just program them in. So the one I have in the morning is about time. I'm going to use today and my time is going to be used positively. So I've already got that mindset. Great, I'm going to get things done today. And if I don't, at the end of the day, I've got whatever happened today, it's the end of the day, and tomorrow is always a new day. We need to remember that.
Yes, I quite often talk about Groundhog Day, because I do think it's such a brilliant example of how, you know, we might feel when we're trying to change our behavior that it's like Groundhog Day. Here we go again, another day, and I'm still struggling with this, and I'm, you know, but that's what happens in the film. But what's really interesting in the film, have you seen Groundhog Day?
Not all the way through, only bits of it. So now I'm going to
highly recommend it for this reason, because at the beginning of the film, you know, he wakes up and he has this day where all these things kind of go wrong, and then he wakes up the next day in the same day, and then he realizes he's repeating the same day and he's repeating the same things all the time, and then he starts to get really down and really frustrated. But then after a little while, he starts to actually notice that these are opportunities here for learning, and that he can then actually start to make small changes, and those small changes add up over time. So the day doesn't change, but he does.
He does.
And then eventually he gets the girl. He's a master ice sculptor. He's a master pianist. He's best friends with everybody. You know, he's all of those things that were the problems at the beginning, he overcame because he didn't give up. And what's really interesting is that, you know, he didn't even have the option of giving up, because even on the days when he said, right, I've had enough of this, and he tries to actually kill himself, comes back the next day, you know. And that, I think, is a really good example of how, you know, by developing resilience, just remembering that every time something doesn't go our way, it's an opportunity for us to pick ourselves back up and learn from that experience, and acknowledge, we're not happy about things. Of course we're not, because if we said, oh yeah, everything's great, and I'm happy about everything, when we're not, where's the motivation to actually change anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to be unhappy with something in order to be able to change it. But the key thing is to not stay there. It's like, this is what I'm not happy with. This is what I want instead. And this is what I need to do to get there. And it's like you say, focusing in the right direction. I often talk about, you know, we've got that mountain over there. That's the destination. And we look up at the mountain and we go, oh my goodness, that's a long way. How on earth am I ever going to get there? It's just too much. I can't do it. That's the story that we tell ourselves. If we actually think about, well, the mountain's over there, I know, I just need to face in the right direction, and I just know I need to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and do that repeatedly. You know, how many steps would it take to actually walk to the top of, say, Mount Kilimanjaro? I'm willing to bet that I have no idea how many steps. An awful lot. But that's what it's like each day that we live, isn't it? It's each day that we live. And if we're making sure that we're looking, we know where the mountain is, and we keep looking in the right direction, we've just got to trust that by keep putting one foot in front of the other, because that is the route to get there, we will get there.
And enjoy it.
Exactly. Every now and then we might take a bit of a wrong turn, but then we just like, okay, where's the mountain? Oh, it's over there. Turn back. You know, so it's about using those opportunities as learning, and every day is a new day, as you said, you know.
Absolutely.
We get the chance to do it all over again. It's an opportunity rather than a struggle. It's seeing it as, what mindset do we need to be in order to be able to achieve what it is that we want to achieve today? We need to know what we want to achieve, don't we? We need to understand our why. And so by getting into this flow, we're going to, by stacking all these things together, we're going to be giving ourselves the best possible chance of doing it, aren't we?
And we don't celebrate enough. Like, I have a to-dar journal, and it's little things.
Tell me about that.
Went to McDonald's the other day, and my app told me that I've got a free Big Mac, and I write things like that in my journal. So I don't want the free Big Mac, to be fair, but it's just a to-dar, like when you get a free coffee with your stamps or something like that. Things to think of are like to-dar moments. I've got
just
3 months.
As an aside, I love a Big Mac, and if I got a free Big Mac, I'd be very happy about that.
I know. I'm just like, it's there for when I want it, for when I really fancy it. And I'm just like, I think I've got till the end of January 2024. But little things like that. And then when you do have a day, we think, I mean, first thing I said to you was, I'm having a mare at the moment. And if my mindset wasn't here, I would be on the floor. My car's gone, my fridge is gone, the knobs come off my slow cooker. It's just I'm having to turn that on with them. I'm doing it. I'm getting through, and that's like little. Just keep the little steps, because this tomorrow will be different, and tomorrow will be different, and we get the good days and the bad days. Something somebody told me once was, be like a dog on a dog walk. Just be in that moment, what you're sniffing, what you're seeing, what you're hearing.
Oh, I love that.
Don't think you've got another 2K to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Just focus on where you're at right now. What's the very next step you need to take?
Yeah.
And ask yourself, is this step going to take me to where I want to go? And if it is, great, keep doing it. And if it's not, then that begs another question, doesn't it? Why are we doing it? Why are we doing that thing if it's actually not taking us in the direction we want to go in? And I think how we set ourselves up for the day makes all of the difference. I personally, for myself, this morning when I woke up at 6:30 and I just kind of thought, oh, it's Monday. It's Monday, and I had a nice weekend, and I got lots of stuff done, and I thought, oh, it's Monday. But then I thought, yeah, but what's the problem with that? And I reframed it to actually, what do I need to do to make today a really good day? And it starts with setting yourself up well for the day. So have a nice shower, and I've got those those exfoliation gloves.
Oh, I love them.
You put the shower gel on, and then you just and it's so invigorating. And my mindset just from doing that was immediately switched to feeling more invigorated, more alive, more positive. And I'm like, I'm ready for the day now. And it's that kind of thing, isn't it? And it's remembering that when it matters, isn't it? Another thing that I find is that for exercise, and this is something that I think is important to be aware of for anyone who's watching here about exercise. Even the world's best athletes don't always want to exercise, okay? Because exercise is not something that as our ancestors would have done as a extra activity. Exercise was something that we would do to go and hunt and gather the food, to look after the children, and any other activities that needed to be done, because we're not designed to be sedentary beings, we're designed to be moving. So exercise is actually something that we have to actually make the time to do. And because we've always got lots of other things that we could do, and we're not always going to enjoy it, it can be easy to think, oh, do you know what, I don't feel like it today. As I say, even the best athletes feel like that sometimes. It's about pushing through that and actually doing it. And then when we start and all the endorphins kick in and we start feeling really good, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? Because when you've done it, you think, do you know what, I'm really pleased that I did that.
Yeah, that feels good.
Being able to remember that when it matters, though, isn't it? Because if we don't remember that, it's easy to just say, I'm not going to bother. But whereas if we actually think how good it's going to make us feel and how it's going to set us up for anything else we might want to do for the day, and it's getting into that flow, isn't it? It's so important.
Yeah, just slotting things in, and that's the biggest thing, is people saying, well, I don't have time. And I get that, because we have days that are not so busy, we have days that are full on. We might get a phone call that we have to answer and then deal with something else. The Wi-Fi might go down and we're trying to fix that. Things take us out of our pattern of things. So that's why the me time habits work really well, because you just slot them in. Pick one at a time, add it in, see how you feel. If it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't, find another one. The sky's still up there. It's still... Absolutely.
It's all trial and error, isn't it? We don't get a kind of like a pocket guide of how to live your life, do we? Obviously, there's lots of self-help books out there, and it's important that we find the right ones for us. But we have to figure it out as we go. And perfection doesn't exist, does it? And it's everything. Every day is a school day, as they say.
Absolutely. And if it challenges you, it can change you. And I think, like, one of the things that I learned mostly when I was going through cancer treatment, and it was lockdown and it was really tough, was a lot of people saying, oh, you're really brave, you're really strong. And I actually wasn't. I was just being. That was the one thing I wanted to do, was just be. So the book I'm writing about going through all that is called Being with Bob. So I call the tumour Bob to disempower it. It was Bob the Bug. And And if we can just be with ourselves, that is so powerful. Like, not see this as a fight or a challenge, or, you know, but just to be in our truth and be who we want to be. That is really, really powerful.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So we'll have to wind this up in a few minutes,
Yep.
but just before we go, I know it has flown by, hasn't it? Before we go, are there like top 3 things that you would say to people, you know, in terms of taking things away from today's session? What are the top 3 things that you would recommend that people could do to kind of really make a difference in getting those habits more consistent?
So try and start off, you know, when you're doing something mundane like cleaning your teeth, you know, you sort of stood there for 2 minutes on average. I usually get the 50 squats in, or stand on one leg, or play a song that's going to motivate you, or think of gratitude, because we can't be negative in the attitude of gratitude. We're being thankful for something. So even if you started off like, while I clean my teeth, I'm going to be thankful, you can stick a post-it on your bathroom mirror. That got me going. Squat. So you know, whatever's going to help you remember that. Another one I love doing is when I'm doing like mundane housework, putting on music and turning it into a fun dance. You know, we've all seen Queen's I Want to Break Free, where they're, you know, it's a bit like that. And give yourself a little bit of a goal, like I want to do this whole room in one song type of thing. And then just celebrate who you are. And one thing I love doing is when if you don't have a dog, but you do any sort of exercise, is when I'm walking my dog, I use my positive affirmations. So I will constantly be saying something. And this one I absolutely love. I just do. I'm a successful published writer, and my business is now a success. And you can put in what you want, but you could turn something into adding in where you don't have time to do affirmations. Do them when you're walking, do them when you're driving the car, as long as you do it safely. You know, we can build in these things, and just think of all the things that you do, what you can do in the meantime.
Absolutely. And just picking up on what you said about I am a published author, it's about bringing it into the present, isn't it? I'm going to be. I am.
If you, I want is
that now, isn't it? Which is amazing. Thank you so much. Now, obviously, if anybody has any questions about anything that we've covered today, please pop them in the comments, and Ruth and I will come in and obviously answer them for you. Obviously, if you are watching live, obviously it would be lovely if you sort of said hello whilst you've been here. That would be great. Obviously, if you're watching on catch up, equally, let us know that you've watched, and you know what you thought about today's session. And obviously I will be back for Monday Morning Matters episode 53. Not sure whether that's going to be next week or the week after that. But before you go, Ruth, how can people find out more about you?
Okay, so I've got my Facebook group, which I love. It's lovely as a space to be with truth. And I've got my Facebook page, which is Ruth Bennett. So I can always pop you the links, Claire, if you want those as well.
If you want to pop the links in the comments once the live is up, then that would be
website's getting there, but I'm not very techy, so it's like it's there. But my daughter said, Mum, you're some very sort of studious looking woman in a suit at the moment. It wasn't me. It was like, so I need to work on the website side. It'll come. So they're the 2 main places at the moment. Super. Page and group.
Yeah, and obviously you're our group life hack expert. So obviously if people have questions, they can tag you in things as and if they want you to perhaps give a little bit of input into how they're getting on, or you know, questions they might have around habits, or you know, anything like that. And
love to hear if somebody tries one and it really works.
We would love to know. We really would love to know. So thank you so much, Ruth, for joining me this morning. It's been absolutely brilliant chatting with you, and hopefully we'll get to do this again in the not too distant future. And I will end the live here now, and I'll see you all in the group. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.